Hey everyone, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, showing you another solo variant from Czech Games Edition. They've been stepping up their solo game recently. Earlier this year I showed you the solo variant they did for Sanctum, and then they also had Under Falling Skies, one of my top solo games of the year. And they're continuing to add solo content for Lost Ruins of Arnak, and now they have a solo variant for Adrenaline, which is basically a board game version of a first-person shooter, kind of arena deathmatch mode game. So I'm going to show you how it all works and see if I can survive. And quick disclaimer, I did get sent a review copy of this one. So to give you a quick overview of the game, you have a series of rooms and spaces. You'll see they're divided into squares, 4x3 on the side of the map you use for solo play. And those squares are also categorized into rooms. You've got the yellow one over here, purple, red, they're all color-based. And you've got doors from room to room in some of these spots. And I've just added a bunch of ammo tokens to these rooms. They have pickups you can get by using an action to gather them. And you've also got, you can kind of see them on the outskirts of the video, these weapon pickups you can get, which is kind of the main point of the game, to get these cool, diverse weapons and try to deal as much damage to the other players as possible. Now in solo mode they changed things up a little bit because your sole individual player is trying to survive against 3 AI that are all ganging up on him. I have to defeat each of these guys once, before they can kill me twice. And the actions these AI characters will take are controlled by these power-up cards over here. In the normal game, these are just used for power-ups and also for spawning, and you still use them for that. But additionally, the yellow, blue, and red AI characters are going to use red, yellow, and blue cards to determine what they do and how they attack me. And the last main component of the game we need to worry about are the character boards. These are for the 3 AI, and I put them in a random order, so blue will activate, then yellow, then red each turn. And I'll be putting these little damage tokens on their spaces. If I can get all the way to the skull, then I've defeated that character. And again, I have to defeat each of them once. But at the same time, here's my player board, and they'll be putting damage on me. And a key thing is the adrenaline mechanic. You'll see that on your player board, they have like these little divisions where they have a new little bonus up here. Basically, your actions get more powerful and you become more mobile, or in the AI's case, they deal more damage as you take more damage before you get blown up. And you will see some little colored cubes. I've got 3 in my ammo area here, and then 2 more of each color over to the left. As I get into the how to play section, I'll explain what all those things mean. So I'll quickly go through the basics of how to play Adrenaline, because it really is pretty straightforward before I get into the first round. So I will spawn, and when you spawn at the beginning of the game, it's very simple. You draw the top 2 power-up cards, and you get to keep one of them, and then the color of the other one will tell you which spawn point to pop into. You've got yellow, blue, and red, where the 3 AI characters are. So like if I didn't keep the blue one, but kept the yellow one, I would spawn into blue. But for the solo play, the first step of each turn is to program what the AI is going to do. So I look at these power-up cards from left to right. You have 5 out. And I give the leftmost one for each color to the indicated AI robot. So here, red would get this leftmost red one, blue would get this leftmost blue one, and yellow would get the only yellow one in the program offer. Then I'm going to fill in all the empty spots, slide these to the left, and draw 3 more cards. And there are ways you can attack the spawn points to flip cards face down, and if a color has no card to grab, like in this case yellow, they instead get the leftmost face down card, or if they can't even get that, they get the leftmost card that's available in general. And each of the types of power-ups will have them do something different. Mostly it's things like move 1 and deal 1 damage. You'll see the options during the playthrough. It's really pretty straightforward. Then I get to take my turn, which consists of 2 actions. And they're defined by this little thing that goes on the left side of your player board. You can move 3 spaces, move up to 1 space and then pick something up, or attack. Moving is super simple. It's all orthogonal. You can't walk through walls, like I couldn't go from red to purple here, but besides that, if I move 3, I could go like that, for example. And for picking up items, like I said, you can move 1 first, although you can't pick up the item and then move, so you can't put the movement later. And if you pick up from one of these spaces with a token, you remove the token, and you get a power-up card and or the ammo cubes indicated. But if you get to a spawn point, you grab one of the 3 weapons that are on offer. And weapons are kind of the most important thing in the game, and one of the most fun things in the game. First, you'll see in the upper left, you have ammo cubes indicated, 1 to 3. When you first pick up a weapon, you ignore the topmost token, but here I would have to be able to spend a yellow and a blue token to pick up this railgun, very powerful. And then when you take the attack action, the shoot action, the last one I mentioned, you would normally play these from your hand because they stay in your hand until you use them. For this playthrough, I'm just going to tap them to show they have been used and their ammo is expended. But the basic idea of a weapon is it'll have a main way to attack, and then it'll sometimes have a secondary way to attack, or like little bonuses you can add. And those will often have different costs. Like for example, with the Electro Scythe, I can do this top one for no extra cost, or by spending an extra blue and red ammo when I attack, I can do the more powerful second option. But other weapons don't have two forms of attack, like the Vortex Cannon here. Instead, they have one or more of these little add-ons you can do. So here I would do this normal attack, which sucks some people into a vortex, and I could spend a red cube to boost it and affect even more people, deal even more damage. And then after I take my two actions, I'll go through the AI one by one and resolve their card, again, which is usually going to be a little bit of movement and a little bit of attacking. And that's really basically it. It's a pretty straightforward variant. I mean, you'll see the details in the weapons as I attack with them and how the AI acts. One concept that is important to explain is line of sight, how you can see people, because most weapons require that to attack with them. And it's pretty simple. If you're in a room, you can see everybody in your room. And if you're next to a door, you can see everybody in that room. So that's really about it. So as an example, yellow right now could only see gray because he's not next to any doors. Gray can see yellow and would see anybody in this gray room because he's at that door. Blue could see everybody in blue, everybody in green, and everybody in yellow because he's adjacent to those doors and in the blue room. That's about it. Really, line of sight is pretty easy to get in this game. It's kind of hard to get out of sight of most people. And a quick word on power-ups. Again, you'll see them in action, but you can usually spend them on your turn at any time before or after an action, or you can discard them to use them like an ammo token indicated at the bottom of their card. And at the end of your turn, if you've attacked with a weapon, you can spend the ammo cubes at the top left of it, like this one blue for the Electro Scythe, to reload it so you can attack with it again. That's a free action at the end of your turn. So if I had tapped it, how I'm going to do it in the solo variant, I could untap it by spending that one blue. So that's enough explanation. Let's get into the actual play of the game and see if we can survive. So I'll go and use the same two power-ups you already saw. I can either spawn on blue or yellow. In terms of their power, for me, Teleporter lets me go anywhere I want, and Newton lets me slide an enemy character up to 2 spaces in one direction. Both are pretty good to prevent getting attacked. But in this case, looking at the weapons, I know you can't see the blue ones up above. I really like the Electro Scythe because it can hit spawn points. You'll see that in a second. So I think I'm going to keep the Newton for my use and discard the yellow to spawn there. And now I'm going to load the AI's actions. You already saw them. I'm using the same ones. And I go in and refill, and this is perfect. Yellow only got 1 card. You'll see why that's helpful to me in just a second. So for my first action, I am going to pick up the Electro Scythe. It costs me nothing to pick it up because, again, I ignore the top left first cube. If there were any more, I'd have to pay for it. And its first attack option is to deal 1 damage to everybody in my space. If I spend an extra blue and red, I can do 2 damage to everybody in my space, which would be awesome if I get all the AI characters together. But for now, I pay nothing. I just take this. And at the end of your turn, you'll always fill in everything you took. So like if I had taken some of these tokens, I would put new tokens there. And since I took a weapon, I'll fill a new weapon in the yellow spawn point. And now for my second action, I'm going to shoot. Yes, it's called shooting even if you use a melee weapon. The Electro Scythe at yellow and the yellow spawn point. I mentioned you can attack spawn points, so I'll just go ahead and tap that. And I'm not going to pay for the bonus effect, so I'll just deal 1 damage. And that goes on yellow's board. And when I damage a spawn point, and this is unique to solo mode, I flip as many cards of the spawn point's color that are in the offer as the damage I dealt. So 1 damage will flip yellow down, which will mean yellow will not do anything next turn, and it'll deal 1 damage to them. So it's great to do that to, it's called a short circuit, when you can mess up the AI that way. So that was both my actions, but I can still use my Newton power-up to move somebody 2 spaces in a single line. Right now, yellow's going to hit me no matter what. Red can't possibly get line of sight to me, because as you'll see in a second, red's going to move 1 and then try to shoot me. But blue, if I pull him 2 spaces this way, he will not be able to get me in sight, which means I'll avoid a bunch of damage. So I'll go and use that power-up to slide him out of the way. And that's the end of my turn. I'll fill in what I took. There's a machine gun waiting for me. And now I'm going to resolve blue's turn, then yellow's, then red's. And all we care about, again, is the type of card. So the tag back grenade, blue and red, they're going to take the same type of action, and yellow is going to do a targeting scope. So for a tag back grenade action, the AI moves 1 space to get closer to me, and then if they can see me, they deal 1 damage and put 1 mark on me. And what's a mark? It's a very simple concept. It just sits on my player board until the next time that same colored player deals at least one actual damage to me, and then all his marks get added on. So it's kind of like damage just waiting until the next damaging effect. But in this case, blue cannot get line of sight to me by moving one. They would have to get to this yellow door here or down here. But he prefers to go closer to his own colored room when there's a tiebreaker for getting closer to me, so that's where he'll move. Targeting scope is just like tag back grenade, except slightly nastier. They move one toward me if they can, and then they deal 2 damage straight up. And no way to prevent that because yellow is right in my face and not happy he just got scythed. And then finally, red had the same tag back grenade. Looks like this is the closest he can get, but he's not at the door to see me, so also does not hurt me. Pretty good start. Oh, and I forgot to reload my weapons. Let's go ahead and spend 1 blue to get my electrocide back. So now I'm down to just a red and a yellow. Certainly going to need to pick up some ammo cubes sometime soon. Okay, loading the AI for my opponent. Red gets a tag back grenade, blue gets a targeting scope, and yellow again gets this face down one, which means he won't do anything and he'll deal a damage to himself, a short circuit damage. And oh, interesting, if I scythe yellow in his spawn point again, I'll cut him out of acting one more time because he again only has 1 card. Alright, so what do I want to do for my 2 actions? First, let's look at what the AI is doing. Yellow's doing nothing. Red's going to move and attack me. And he can get to yellow, to red, to purple. So the only place I could stay and not get hit would be blue or green. And blue is also going to move 1 and attack me. And he's in kind of this spot of death. I really hate this. Because he can see into every room with 1 move. That would get him to see green and yellow. That would get him to see gray. He can already see purple, green, and blue. So there's really no getting away from blue unless I use like a Newton on him again to slide him somewhere. Which would mean if I attack yellow and also take out his spawn point, so I'll skip his turn next time, I can't really escape red or blue unless I spend my total entire second action just like running into the green room to get away from red, but then I'm not picking anything up. So maybe I'll just tank attacks from both of them? Well, sure, let's try it. I'll go ahead and attack yellow for my first turn with the Electro Scythe. That'll deal 1 damage to him again and also turn over the only yellow card in the program offer. And then for my second action, the scythe needs blue and red to be powerful, so let's go ahead and move 1. Remember, you can move 1 before you pick up, and get a red ammo cube and 2 blue ammo cubes. And I'll refill what I took. There we go. And I will spend 1 of my 2 blues to get my scythe reloaded again. Now this is going to hurt. Blue's going to move 1, get me in sight, and shoot me for 2 damage with the targeting scope. And then red is also going to move 1 to get me in sight and deal 1 damage and 1 mark, so damage in waiting. But yellow just sits there in short circuits, which means deals the damage to itself, although note that he cannot defeat himself with that. So I need to deal the killing blow, get into that skull space. Alright, let's program our bots. Red's going to do a Newton, so he won't move, but he'll move me 2 spaces closer to him. Blue's got another targeting skill for 2 damage, and yellow's going to do nothing again and deal a damage to himself. Ooh, but looking at the cards coming up, if I can do a damage to blue's spawn point, I'll take away his whole chance to act next turn. But man, I'm looking pretty messed up already. And a quick note, because I have damage in this first little slot, now I can move twice before I pick up an item. And once I take 1 more damage, I'll be able to move 1 before I shoot. So, again, those adrenaline versions of the actions helping me to be a bit more effective. Alright, so let's see. Blue's going to move and then attack me. It would be cool if I can get up here and take out his spawn point to cancel his action next turn. But if I was up here, blue would hit me, and then red would pull me 2 spaces towards him, which would get me right there, and he would hit me as well. Whereas if I, for example, charged towards red, red could hit me, but he's doing less damage anyway, and then blue could not get line of sight to me with 1 action. Let's see for a second. Maybe I'll run up and get an item and also attack blue. What items do we have here? The lock rifle, a lot of blue cubes, and I already have a weapon that uses blue, but it would do 2 damage and a mark to somebody I can see, and a mark to somebody else. Not great. Tractor beam is often kind of actively bad in solo because you don't necessarily want the AI close to you unless you can get them into like a corner where then you run away from them. But yeah, I can deal 1 damage after sucking somebody 2 spaces, or 2 spaces and 3 damage if you get them into their space and pay extra. And then the furnace will hit everybody in a room that you're not in, or everybody in a space next to you that you're not in. But it's another red and blue weapon. They're all red and blue up there. Really, the weapons I want are in the red spawn point. That's where all the yellows are, which is the only cube that my side doesn't use at all. But there's no way to get there right now without putting myself terribly out of position. Yeah, there are no great options here at all. Oh, man. Okay, what if I just pick up stuff for a minute so I can move twice, get a card, a yellow and a red? Oh, and the card is a teleport. That would be helpful. And then I'll do it again, get out of range of blue's attack, and get a card and 2 blue. And you do have limits. You only have 3 of each color ammo cube, so now I am fully loaded except for 1 missing yellow. And similarly, you can only have 3 weapons at a time and 3 items at a time. Oh, wow, okay, I got 2 red teleports. Interesting. All right, as for the AI, blue wants to move 1 and then shoot me for 2 damage. He can't get to me. Yellow just deals himself a damage and short circuits. And red wants to pull me up to 2 towards him and then deal 1 damage. But it'll actually be 2 because of the mark he had on me. Man, I will say this is not going as well as some of my other plays. I am almost dead and I've barely injured 1 of the 3 AIs. Yikes. And because I didn't get to attack a spawn point, red's going to do a Newton pulling me. Blue's going to walk and try to mark me. And yellow's going to do the same. Jeez. Alright, everyone except yellow isn't really worried about their spawn point again. I definitely need some more firepower. So let's use my first action to move twice and get the power glove. So there's a yellow and a blue. I don't love that I have 2 blue weapons, but at least the yellow will be pretty easy to do. Oh man, it's a blue for its extra effect? Come on. Could get the shockwave instead. That's just yellow. It hurts everyone adjacent to me on different spaces, or everyone on any of those spaces adjacent to me if I spend an extra yellow, but it's only 1 damage. Whereas the power glove would let me move 1 space into somebody's adjacent space and deal a damage and 2 marks to them, or for an extra blue, I could do that effect twice to 2 different people. I guess I'll go for the shockwave, so I don't have to spend anything for it now, but I don't love this. And then let's see, I could move here and hit red, or here and hit blue, and either way I would damage with the shockwave their spawn point as well, and turn 1 red card face down. Wouldn't skip his turn entirely, but would at least gum things up a bit. But either way, they're both going to hit me, and man, am I going to be dead from that? Oh, Lord. Yeah, not going well at all. Now, I think I'll barely be alive, so okay, let's go ahead and do it to blue like that. So I'll use the basic ability of the Shockwave, deal 1 damage to both the spawn point adjacent and the blue guy adjacent. And when there's multiple cards of a color, I can choose which one I flip down, although in this case they're both targeting scope, so it does not matter. And then I could use one of my teleporters, but honestly I don't think it would get me to anywhere safer. So I'm just going to spend one of my 2 yellows to reload the Shockwave. And I'll draw a new weapon for over there, the Hellion. Nice. Meanwhile, fun with the AI. Blue runs in, gives me a mark and a damage, so I have 2 left before I'm dead. Yellow tries to do the same, but can't, so I guess I can move him whichever way I want. Let's go that way. And then red pulls me down 2 and also does 1 damage to me. So yeah, I'm kind of sort of almost dead here. Alright, so programming the AI, I skip the face down card. That's not going to matter yet. I grab a red, blue, and yellow. But it will fill up spots until it gets used by somebody when they don't draw a card for themselves. Like maybe, there we go. No red, so red won't act, not in this coming turn. He already has the targeting scope at the turn after that. Alright, let's plan things out for a second. So blue's got a Newton, which means like he would try to pull me towards him, so I'd have to get pretty far away. Gosh. Well, actually, let's see. If I move like here, now he can pull me into blue. So I'd have to be like here or here or here to not get hit by him. Although he's doing 1 damage, but he's got a mark waiting, so that would still kill me. Meanwhile, yellow's just got a teleporter, so I can't escape him, but he only does 1 damage. But red's got a targeting scope. So if blue or red hit me, I am dead. Probably no way to avoid both of those things happening. Yeah, I've left myself in a pretty bad situation here. I could, like, scythe one of those guys, I guess, or really just red. But then I'm certainly getting killed no matter what else I do. I don't know, maybe I'll try to get a machine gun and at least make something happen. So I'll move over here, and sure, I'll hit red for a single point of damage. And then I'll do a pickup, running over here. I'll get machine gun for one of my red cubes, not paying the blue one yet. And this can shoot 2 different people you can see, each for 1 damage. With the yellow, you can deal 2 damage to one of them instead. With the blue, you can do 2 damage to the other one and hit a 3rd person. So in theory, I could do a bunch of damage to several AI characters with this. Now, I do have 2 teleporters. Is there anywhere that would keep me alive? Ooh, wait, I think I will survive. Because blue's going to use this Newton to pull me 2 closer, and it can pull me up or left. Either way, it can't see me, but it prefers to pull me closer to its own room. So he'll actually get me up to here. Yellowport will teleport to deal me 1 damage, but red won't hit me this turn, so I'm actually going to survive for another turn. Nice. So blue does that, thank you. Yellow teleports in and hits me for 1, not quite dead. And red chases me. And let's see, he prefers to stay closer to his own color. Although I guess 1, 2, yeah, so that would be closer, so he'll go into the purple room. And I guess I'll reload my electro scythe, even though I'm not really using it. Alright, AI, red's doing nothing. Blue's going to teleport for 1 damage, so no way I avoid death this time, and then yellow will try to pull me. Looks like we got a little bit of everything for next time. I'm not going to hit the red spawn points. I don't think I'll be stopping them at all. But if I'm going to die anyway, there's really nothing I can do about it. I might as well try to hit somebody. So if I can get here, I can do a shockwave on blue and red, and also mess with their actions a little bit. Although to get there, even with the free move, since I'm in the adrenaline mode, I guess the best I could do would be to move here, but I've already got 2 blue and 2 red, so I would waste one of those ammo cubes. That still seems like the best option though, so I'll pick that up for my first action. And whoops, forgot to fill in some ammo from last time. And then for my attack, again, I'm going to use the shockwave. So 1 to blue, 1 to red, and turn over 1 blue card. And teleporters deal 1 damage, targeting scopes deal 2, so that seems to be an easy option. Alright, and then blue's going to teleport to me and deal 1 damage. And because he had a mark, it's actually going to be 2, which is good for me because when he gets into the overkill range, which means dealing more damage than he needed to, I get to give him 1 free mark because he basically pissed me off. So that's 1 little plastic skull of doom for me. If I get another one, I lose. And when you die, you immediately respawn. You draw a new power-up, you put it together with anything else you have. I guess I have limited options here. And then you discard 1 to move to that spawn point. I guess I'll get rid of one of my 2 teleporters. And yellow immediately starts acting again, but they only have a Newton, so they'll just pull me right there towards them, but they clearly can't shoot me. And red deals the damage to himself from the short circuits, so the rest of that wasn't too bad. No, the bad part, very bad, is that I have not even gotten any of these guys to half damage, and they've already killed me 1 out of the 2 times. Okay, back to their actions. Blue's going to be teleporting, yellow's going to be pulling me, and then red's going to try to move and tag me. Ooh, but I like the new activation cards drawn. Look at all the yellows. If I can hit blue's spawn point potentially, then only yellow will take an action next turn. Let's see, and they're all kind of together. Could use my first action just to move. I could, like, machine gun a bunch of them. Yeah, you know what? Hey, let's try to make up some space. So I'll use my first action to move and pick this up. Huge waste because I already have max red, so I'm just getting a single yellow. And by the way, I didn't mention it, but I didn't reload my shockwave because I wanted the yellow. So I'm going to attack with my machine gun. I'm going to use the yellow and the blue effects. I'll be able to deal 2 damage to 1 target, 2 damage to another, and 1 damage to a third. So in this case, it's going to be 2 to blue, 2 to red, since I can see them. I can't see yellow. And then 1 to the blue spawn point, so that neither blue or red will activate next turn. So this should add up to a bunch of damage for them overall. I mean, look at this. Suddenly I'm kind of back in it. I've got both of them in a nice spot, and then after their short circuits next turn, they'll be in here. Although that is a negative. How this works for the AI is once they're in this second kind of spot of adrenaline damage, every one of their attacks also deals an extra mark. So they just really wear you down quickly. Now, the last question is, do I want to teleport or Newton or both to maybe not get hit? Blue's teleporting, so no way around that. Yellow is Newtoning me, so I would have to be like, I don't know, I guess here would be fine, or here, but not, oh no, even here they could pull me into yellow, so I would really have to be like right there to be safe. But that wouldn't stop blue from hitting me, that wouldn't stop red from moving 1 and shooting me. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't want to use anything because, yes, blue's going to hurt me no matter what, and then yellow will pull me in and hurt me, but the pull will stop red from reaching me, so I'm okay with that. So yeah, 1 damage from blue after he teleports. Yellow pulls me in, deals 1 damage. Red tries to chase me and fails. And that machine gun worked pretty darn well. I think I'll spend a blue and a red to recharge it. And here's the best part. Yellow's going to teleport, but red's going to do nothing. Blue's going to do nothing. So beautiful. Let's see if we get lucky. Yes, more yellow. I love it. Oh my gosh. Give me another yellow. Okay. So if I don't hit the blue spawn point, he will go in another turn. So the only possible damage for me this turn is yellow. I don't even really need to worry about running away. So yeah, first action, let's keep shooting. Machine gun again. This is my last blue and my last yellow, but I think I'm going to pick up some more right on my spot. So I can once again do 2, 2, and 1, and I have every target I could ever want. Let's see, in this case, they're going to already be in the danger zones. Maybe I don't want to hit yellow to avoid that too, because then his teleport will hurt me more. So yeah, let's try to finish off these guys while they're down. Do 2 to red, 2 to blue. Oh man, but then I'm really going to have to find some way to catch up on yellow. You know what? No, let's not do that. Let's do 2 of it to yellow and leave blue a little bit less hurt. But then speaking of blue, my last damage will be to the blue spawn point, so yellow will be the only one going again next turn. And for my second action, I'm going to hang out right where I am and get 2 yellow and a blue, because I was out of both of those. Which is very nice, because now I can afford to reload my machine gun, although I won't have the token to do the extra bonus damage. So what the hey, I'll reload my shockwave too and leave myself some options. And certainly no point in teleporting or newtoning since yellow's the only one moving and he's just going to stay where he is. So yellow will hit me for 1 and a mark because I got him into his little danger zone. Red and blue are short-circuiting and they'll do it again next time. Great. Show that in action. Yellow's going to have a targeting scope. Man, that'll be a lot of damage if I let him hit me. And then blue will get this one. Red will take one of those. Doesn't really matter. And no more fun for me. I guess I could make blue keep on not going, but I certainly am not going to get to red. Well, it seems kind of crazy while they're in my kill zone to stop a good thing, so let's pick up that ammo. It's the perfect kind to get a big attack off and keep machine gunning. So the ammo pickup gets me a red and 2 blues. Which means for my second action, I can do a machine gun with both bonuses, although I'm out of yellow now. Alright, see, I really got to plan this out some. Remember, the short circuit can't kill them, so if I deal 2 to red, I'll basically waste its damage. So maybe I do 2 to yellow, 2 to blue, and try to set him up for, like, another machine gun next turn. Yeah, okay, I think I'm going to do 2 to yellow, 2 to blue, and what the hey, let's keep blue just being useless by flipping his only card down for the last damage. And I will absolutely be reloading my machine gun. I am very low on options now unless the right ammo comes out. Let's see if it does. Come on. Ooh, blue and yellow. That's what I need. Okay. I might just sit here for the rest of the game and just blast him and blast him. I'm like in Predator where the guy's friend, after he gets shot, picks up the minigun and just hoses the entire jungle. All right, now yellow is whapping me hard, though. Maybe I should have teleported, but again, I like where I am. He's doing 2 damage, plus his mark, plus giving me a new mark, which does mean that I'm in the whole move and attack spot, so that's good. But blue and red both short circuit. They are 2 from death, baby, yes. And yellow's got another super damage 1. Blue's doing nothing again. Red's finally got his act together. And let's see. Blue, red, and red. Okay, so I could theoretically have blue do nothing again. Key thing, by the way, the turn you defeat the third guy, you still have to survive until the end of the turn, which can be pretty tough to do. All right, so I could do a big machine gun attack. Do 2 to red, do 2 to blue, take them out, hurt yellow, and then maybe like teleport to get out of dodge and try to hit yellow with, I don't know what is going to do 2 damage. I'll be so low on weapons at that point. Okay, let's keep things simple. I'll pick this up first, just what I needed. And then I'll machine gun with a blue and yellow again. And I think I'll kill blue first with exactly 2 damage. I'll kill red with exactly 2 damage. And I'll leave blue's spawn point alone and deal 1 damage to yellow. Whenever you kill somebody, you immediately draw a power card and spawn them in the indicated place. And this could be pretty important because it might determine whether red can reach me to attack, for example. Okay, let's do blue first. He's going to blue, didn't go very far. And red, the one who could actually attack me, go to red, buddy, go to red. Oh, he's also in blue. Actually, maybe that's okay because I can now teleport away from all of them and take no damage this turn. So let's definitely do that. So let's see, yellow's got a targeting scope, so he'll just move 1 and then shoot. Red has a grenade, he'll move 1 and shoot. So as long as I'm like anywhere kind of, well not in red, because red can reach me. I have to be in gray, I guess. But let's go here, gray, so I can like see yellow's room when he moves in, try to get the kill shot on him, and then somehow not get hit back too much. So yeah, yellow moves 1, can't see me. Red moves 1, prefers to move towards his own space, can't see me. Blue short circuits, doesn't do anything special. All right, so here we go. Their final activations, we hope. Yellow and blue is going to be doing a tag back. Red's going to slide me towards him and try to do 1 damage. The nice thing is, none of these do 2 damage. So actually, I don't think I can die. Because look, as long as I take yellow out so he's not getting his bonus damage every turn, yellow will do 2 and then give me one of the marks because 1 plus the mark he already has. Blue will do 2. Red will do 2. I'll be 1 away from death. Come on! Oh wait, I did forget to say I'm recharging the machine gun. I have no ammo. Oh gosh, I gotta get some ammo to actually finish yellow off. Okay, not a problem. What do I need? All I need is a +1 damage. So a yellow or a blue will get me that. So let's actually pick up the thing I'm already on, see if I can get like a teleport to help me out or something. And I did get a teleport. Okay, so I've got a teleport and a Newton. I gotta figure I can stop some of their attacks and win by even more. Okay, so second action, I'm gonna machine gun. I can spend a blue just to deal an extra damage to one of the targets, even if I don't have a secondary target. So I will do that. And that perfectly finishes off yellow. So there we go. We have 1 as long as we survive. Like I said, I think it's already impossible for me to die. But let's see. Yellow's spawning on red. So yeah, let's do this with even more style. Let's teleport over here And then Newton Blue over there. Get out of here. And what you got now, AI? What you got? Blue, you're going to try to move one. You can't see me. Yellow, you're going to try to move one. Oh, you can't see me either. Red, you're going to pull me too. I don't care which way you go. You can't find me. So, boom. I actually got all of them. That was a huge turnaround. That big, like, machine gun death corner where I just kept on taking away their activations. Certainly a big part of that. Alright, so that was Adrenaline, and not going to do a review because this is just a little added-on solo variant, but I'll give my quick thoughts. I definitely like the diverse weapons in Adrenaline. That's probably one of my favorite things, although I like it slightly more in multiplayer because they feel kind of more universally useful, whereas with how the AI moves, some of these are better than others. Something else I like is the AI activation. I think it's the right mix of kind of randomness, but also the ability to shoot their cards and kind of take away their actions, or move around or move them around to avoid their attacks, especially with weapons that move them around. That's definitely a kind of a cool part of it, the little like puzzle of how to get where you can go, and it's so hard to get out of line of sight, but when you do, you feel really cool. But those positives being said, in the end, my thoughts on this one are kind of similar to Sanctum, in that I think it's awesome that CGE did a free solo variant you can just print out, but I'm not sure if I would buy this game or Sanctum just for solo play. I think it's a great little addition, but I think you're mainly going to want to look at picking up either of these games if you think you might get a multiplayer game in every once in a while. But it's definitely fun for that. So, yeah, there you go. That was Adrenaline. Take that, robots. I am the king. And, yeah, good gaming. I'll see you at the next stop.